Everybody, this is Anakin. We got another cat. Say hello. Can you say hi? Can you say hi? He's kind of dumb, but it's all right. He's growing. He's a growing boy. So now we have Ahsoka and Anakin, which means we are Star Wars fans in this house. Hey, what is up, legends? My name is Derek or J Nova, and today we are back. Let's talk some powerlifting. I'm going to have some Black Ops 6 beta gameplay in the background just for you guys to watch, but let's get into my most recent squat, bench, deadlift day. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about I did not have a bad week. We had a great week. I want to preface this by saying my phone died right after I finished squatting, so I only have a video of my squat set, but that's all right because my squat set was kind of the highlight of the week. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. All right, so going into the Saturday, this was last Saturday. We obviously we're starting with squats. Going into the week, I had, this was my peak squat exposure, so this is going to be my heavy squat day. Going into it, me and my coach had agreed if I were able to hit 485 at 8 or at an RPE of 8, I would be able to go for 500. Now, let's preface this by saying 500 is a number that I didn't think I'd be able to hit. Obviously, I figured I would be able to get to that point eventually. I've gotten there much faster than I had originally thought would be possible. It's a number that I've chased for a long, long time. Originally, when I first started lifting, 405 was kind of the number that I really wanted to hit. And then as soon as I hit 405, 500 is the number that I always thought of as a really good, strong squat. Obviously, there's guys that weigh as much as me that are squatting 800 plus pounds, but for the average person, the average power lifter, I feel like 500 is a really, really strong number, and that's a number that I've wanted to chase forever. So we got in. I went for 485 for one. Felt really, really good. It was at RPE 8, just like we had expected, or not really expected, but that's the number that I needed to hit, and that's what I was gonna hit because 500 was in my sights on this day, so there was no way that I wasn't gonna be going for 500. If I would have gotten 485 at 9, at 9.5, I wouldn't have been able to go for it, and that would have really hurt my ego. So I needed to make sure that that 485 was at 8. So that felt really good. But 485 at RPE 8 meant that I got to go for 500. So I loaded up 500 pounds on that bar, and I got under 500 pounds for the first time in my life, and I smashed 500 pounds. So I hit 500 for one rep at RPE, roughly 9.5. Honestly, I feel like if I really had to, I probably could have gotten 2 reps out of that, which is insane to say. So I was talking to my coach today, and it's looking like my next squat peak will probably be around 525-ish. In that range, which is just insane to me. I never thought that I would be squatting this much weight in my life, and feeling as good as I do. I think powerlifting in general has this stigma around it where your joints and stuff like that start hurting, and I think down the line I'll probably end up paying for this just as I get older. But right now my body feels the best it's ever felt, and I'm putting my body and my joints and everything under more stress than I ever have. But I feel better than I ever have. So it's crazy right now with just how good everything feels. But yeah, hit 500 for one. That's my new PR, 500 pounds on squat. It feels really, really good to make this kind of progress. It's crazy to me seeing how much potential I have and just how quickly I'm progressing still. It's just nuts, dude. It's nuts. So 500 is my new PR. So moving on from there, I don't have videos for anything preceding the squat. So on bench, we moved on to bench. I had 3 sets, so I did one set of 305, another set of 305, and a set of 300, and this is all pause bench. So my current pause bench PR is 310. I think I have a lot more in the tank right now. We haven't really been pushing bench as far, and even like my coach said, we probably would have upped the weight for this week had my phone not died and I was able to talk to him. So that's on me, but I did hit 305 twice and then 300 once. So both sets of 305 were at RPE 6, so I roughly had 4 reps left in the tank there, and then the set of 300 was at around a 5 or 5.5. So another 4 or 5 reps in the tank there. So bench, again, I've been preaching it for the last few weeks. I've done the update video like this, but bench has been feeling really, really good. I definitely think I have at least 320, 330 in me for pause bench, which will be a huge PR. So I'm hoping the end of this week is probably when I'm going to go for a bench PR. So that's going to be really cool. But moving on from bench, we go into deadlift. This is essentially my week 1 for deadlift. So last week was my peak exposure, which obviously I hit 565 and 555. So those were huge PRs. But following that, my week 1 deadlifts are usually dog shit, like complete, absolute dog shit. I think it's my body just kind of recovering from how much stress I put it under with those heavy singles for deadlifts. So it's usually really bad. And the first session back, so after I hit my peak exposure for deadlift, that first session of the following week is always, like clockwork, terrible. And I'm not going to put the video in here, but I was doing sumo deadlifts just as a variation, just to get that volume in. And on my last set, I actually completely lost my balance and almost fell over. So on top of that, just, you know, the weight just being lower, it feeling harder. It's just like clockwork every single time. My week 1 deadlift exposure is always terrible. So I don't know why it is. It's just how my body reacts to the heavy singles, I think, for the peak week. So that recovery period of that week 1 is just always horrible. I think a lot of it probably at this point is mental too. You know, just going into it, I'm thinking like, oh, it's my week 1, it's going to suck. So that probably plays a role as well, even though I don't go into it thinking like, oh, this is going to be shitty, but it is in the back of my mind just with past experience of just how my body's reacted to it. So that original session, I think on Monday or Tuesday, was terrible. But we got all the way to Saturday, and it actually felt pretty good. So I hit 515 for 1 at an RPE of 8, and then 485 for 2 at an RPE of 7. So not terrible. You know, 515 for 1 at RPE 8 means I could have gotten 515 for 3, which, again, is not bad. I don't think it's obviously not like peak deadlift exposure, like week 4 deadlift exposure, like perfection. But it felt pretty good. It felt better than my traditional week 1s usually feel. So I was actually pretty happy with it. So yeah, 515 for 1 at 8 and then 485 for 2 at 7. Again, I'm pretty happy with it. So I don't got much to say on deadlift. It's kind of the reset process. So we're getting back into the swing of things and, you know, just kind of running with it. I just deadlifted today. So I'm in week 2 now of my deadlift essentially. And it felt a lot better today. Still not, you know, where I am typically in week 4, but definitely feeling better. So it's just a process, dude. It just resets every single time. I just got to get through the sucky week 1 and just kind of keep progressing. So it's a mental battle, but we prevail every time. Yeah, that's the SBD day. So my squat PR is obviously the talking point here. So previously 475 was my 1 rep max for squat. 500 is now, so that's a 25-pound PR, which is insane. So that puts my total with pause bench around 1375, which is nuts. I'm approaching 1400. If you count touch and go bench, which is my 1 rep max for that is 325. So my total would be 1395. Which is just insane to me. Again, I'm on the cusp of 1400. I think after this weekend, I'll probably be at 1400 because I'm pretty confident I'll be able to hit like 330 or something like that on bench for pause. So we're getting up there, dude. We're getting up there. 1400-pound total was a huge goal of mine. So, or is a huge goal of mine. I'm not there yet, but. So that's going to be crazy, but once we hit that, we just keep pushing, dude. We just keep once I hit 1500 is the next goal, and that's on the horizon. So one thing I do want to mention too is today I squatted and deadlifted. I'll throw this video in there just because I have it, and I didn't have the other ones, but I did hit a 5 rep PR of 425 for an RP of 7 on squat, which is huge. I think my previous 5 rep PR was 410 at 7.5, I think. So that's a pretty big PR for me. I don't really respond as well to the rep stuff. So usually the higher reps are a little bit tougher for me. And I think that's kind of where I falter as far as like my compound lifts go. I think it's harder for me to PR for 5 reps, like a 5 rep PR, than it is for me to PR a single. So, and that might be true for a lot of people, but that's just how it is for me as well. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for today, guys. We're progressing well. Can't really ask for anything else. Me and my coach are just killing it, so couldn't be happier, really. But I mentioned it in a couple other videos, but you guys are killing it right now with the subscribers. Like I've said, I've gained a ton of subscribers over the last month, so thank you guys to all the new viewers. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. This is this is my dream, and I right now I'm just doing it for fun, but I really want to build this audience and hopefully, you know, start streaming one day once I have a good following and can, you know, support some viewers. So this is really awesome seeing all the support, and yeah, I'm gonna keep doing it. You know, I just love doing this, so it's just kind of a creative outlet for me. So I'm gonna keep doing it, and just seeing the number go up, seeing that subscriber count, the follower count on everything, just, you know, it makes my day. So, but yeah, that's all I got. Thanks guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please comment in the comment section down below. May you like, may you share with your friends. Hit that notification bell to be notified every time I post a new video. Thank you guys. See you guys all in the next one. Peace out.